Tom, starting off with a bit of a darker one, not so good news. The deaths on Australian roads have reached the highest levels since 2012.
Right, really?
So looking at the stats, it is quite bad, and the data shows that 1,310 people passed away on the roads since the 30th of April, so it's an 11% increase compared to the previous year.
Yeah, right. Well, absolutely. Everyone out there driving, remember to stay safe, stay vigilant on the roads, especially if you're driving country roads or in wet weather, which we're going into.
Yeah, exactly. With wet weather coming in and, like you said, long weekends ahead, things like that, just be a bit careful. In a bit happier news, Tom, the Christmas pageant for Adelaide here, obviously a very big deal. It's the 92nd one, and they're returning to Rundle Mall as their location for the upcoming one.
92 years of the pageant.
Yeah, and I didn't realise how big the pageant actually is. I mean, it looks massive when you're there, right? So many people, but 320,000 people went last year.
Yeah.
It's huge.
320,000?
320,000 people at the pageant last year, so you forget how big it is.
Jeepers creepers.
They're going to cram it down Rundle Mall. Yeah, Jeepers creepers was weird. We'll bring that up later. And as well, in music news, Paul McCartney, first British billionaire musician.
First British billionaire musician.
Yeah, a bit of a mouthful of a title, but that's what he's got now. So he's worth $1.27 billion. It's just been recorded.
He's the first British musician to be a billionaire.
Yeah, to be a billionaire. And obviously the first Beatle, so kudos to him. Very awesome stuff.
Callum, I want to know where he cut corners. And we're going to open up the text line in just a moment. But I feel like people who are like me need to cut corners where we can. Personally, I love sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm really not a morning person. So.
Greatest pleasure in life. And when people throw at me as well, I'm the same. Love sleep. Don't love the mornings really. People throw at me those stats saying, "Oh, you spend 1/3 of your life in bed. What a waste of your life." Blah blah blah.
Give me half my life in bed.
Up the ratio, please. 1/3 isn't enough. And I'm enjoying that 1/3, quite frankly. I don't care if I'm not climbing a volcano or going skydiving, all the adventurous stuff that everyone's telling me I'm wasting my time on. I'm really, really happy using my time in bed.
Yeah, totally at peace. It's like, who needs meditation when you've got your bed? But I feel like people like us who do love our sleep, I will sleep into the very last minute possible. And if that means I'm going to be 5 minutes late, I'm going to be 5 minutes late, no matter where it is too.
Sure.
Work.
Funerals. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'll give a 5 minute grace period. Everyone can be in that 5 minute realm of being a bit late, and it's like you're not really late.
Sure.
But in doing that, I need to know where the best spots to cut corners are. And we heard this story from our content director, Sophie, and she was saying the other day when she had a shower, she decided to kill two birds with one stone and ate her Vegemite on toast while showering.
Yep. So it was definitely a weird one, and we won't get too bogged down into that, but I will say it's a bit gross. I think the water vapor and the heat overall will sort of marinate the toast a little bit and make it really weird. But it is, I guess, a cutting corner technique that she does so she can get to work in time.
Look, I've got to say, I'm not about it. I don't think I'm going to eat in the shower. It's something about cleaning myself and then eating in that same place. It puts me off a little bit. But I respect the hustle from her of cutting this corner and dwindling down the time that she needs.
I think the only thing I think is acceptable to eat in the shower maybe is cereal. Cereal seems like it has some sort of, bit of looseness to it. It's not cooked. You have it. I think as soon as you cook something, take it out of an oven, take it out of an electric utensil, whatever, and then you bring it into the shower realm, definitely off. It has to be something that's not cooked, but yes, I do think it's gross as well. There is something very bachelor life about eating a bowl of cereal in the shower too, I will admit.
I came into this fully wanting to ask everybody on the text line, how do you cut corners? But I want to change it up now. I want to know what's acceptable to eat in the shower.
Yeah, let's do it.
0428 927 927. Text in now. What do you think is actually acceptable to eat in the shower, Adelaide?
Look at this text here, Tom. This person sounds like an ancient pharaoh or something. Apples, grapes, and bananas, obviously. Love Jack. Are you being fed as well by your concubines? Why are you eating luxurious fruits?
Mangoes in summertime, yeah.
Yeah.
Got another text here saying food shouldn't be eaten in the shower, but there's nothing better than a shower beer. I'm
Great
all for
call.
the shower beers.
Great call.
It's an unreal combination.
Yeah, another person here saying, I don't eat anything in the shower, followed by another person saying shower beer only from Red L. So, yeah, another shower beer.
Just got a text come through here saying, boys, try an orange in the shower. It will change your life, and that's on God.
All right, well, I'll hold God accountable if I don't enjoy the orange.
We got a couple of people on the line. We're going to go to Louise in Glengarry. Louise, good morning. How are you?
Hi.
Now, Louise, what do you think is acceptable to eat in the shower?
I guess that's personally up to the person. I don't eat in the shower, but my 3-year-old daughter was going through a little phase where she would have a bath and she'd say, Mum, can I have a slice of cheese?
Right.
And I did have that little talk of, well, you're really not meant to eat in the bath, but, you know, I had to get dishes done. She was in the bath. I thought, all right, fair enough.
Hell?
And so then I thought, and I was listening to it. Turns out she was breaking it up into little bits and nicely asking her little toys, would you like a slice of cheese? Yes, good manners.
right.
And basically, and I was so impressed with it. But then later when I went to let out the bath water, I'm like, what is, it was all stuck to it was all mushy on the bottom of the bath. And I'm like, right, no more cheese in the bath. It was cute that she was sharing, but that's pretty much where I had to draw the line.
Yeah, it's adorable, but I get where you had to draw the line.
I love that you said it was a phase as well. Just your daughter turning around and saying, it's just a phase, Mum, while throwing mozzarella in the bath. Don't worry, I only did this for a few years in my youth.
Yes, but I did have to have that little talk to her about, you know, we eat at the table, we don't eat in the bath, and basically had to kind of put myself through a bit of a boundary kind of check there too.
Yeah, cheesy baths are done. Hey, thanks for getting involved, Louise.
Hey, you know what? I still find the toast a bit grosser, so I think the toast is winning in the weirdness scale right now, Tom. But we're going to go to Holly in Cheltenham. Tell us, do you eat in the shower?
Hey, good morning, guys.
G'day.
Absolutely not here.
No, hate it?
Look, my kids really enjoyed this one as they can hear it in the car, and they yelled out, "You can't eat in the shower! It's gross,
Yeah, look, Holly, I've never personally eaten in the shower, but I am kind of open to the idea of giving it a crack.
Well, look, my only recommendation was I feel like I'd be less judgmental if someone said it was a muesli bar or a protein bar, something chewy that's, you know, well intact. Have a couple of bites, jump in the shower. Maybe I would turn my eyes up less. But
Yeah.
the toast, sorry, that one is soggy.
So is that the rule you're going by? Because everyone has their different rules with shower eating. So you're saying, you know, bars food in the bar form, muesli bars, chocolate bars, single bite kind of foods that aren't cooked. That's the way to go. That's the only way you'd eat it.
Oh, I wouldn't, but maybe that's the way forward if you're running late here to cut corners.
Holly, there's a few people texting through to us saying spaghetti in the shower is actually quite good. Would you judge me if I told you I had spaghetti in the shower?
Oh, it's a tough one. I guess you do you, whatever works.
We'd
but...
lose a listener for sure. I'm not listening to that guy on the radio.
He eats spaghetti in the shower.
Tom, I've got to lay low for a little bit at work here. So if you see me just off the grid, you know, clocking off early, not around the premises, there's a reason for that.
Is this your way of putting it out there to the world that you are leaving early today?
I might be, yes. And it's a good reason to, but...
yeah, right. What's happened?
Pretty much, there's been a miscommunication with a girl at work, Marty, who is the sound of Fresh. She is the voice, all the, you know, the common voice you hear going on all the ads and stuff. That's her.
She probably does the most work out of anyone here at Fresh.
She does heaps.
She is getting slammed all the time. So... we love Marty a lot. What have you done to her?
It's exactly right. Marty is the one you don't want to upset because we love Marty. She does heaps of work.
She can also make you sound really bad on air.
Yeah, she has a lot of control and power, which I'm aware of. Once again, why I have to lay low. So what happened? About 2 weeks ago, we had the Fresh DJ takeover at Saracen's Head Hotel.
Yeah.
It was an awesome night.
Great
Had a
night.
few of our greatest DJs hopping behind the decks and working their magic.
Yep.
And there was one point because, you know, a lot of the Fresh fam came. We had a few listeners come through and stuff like that. Let's not be immature about it. There's a lady there who we're quite friendly with who's a regular listener.
Yep.
And her name is BJ.
Yep.
So it's short for Billie Jane.
Yep.
And that's what she goes by.
I'm just going to say yep.
And it gets to a point in the night, right, where You didn't see it, but Mags from the drive home definitely saw it, and her jaw dropped.
I'm watching your hand shake as you tell this story right now.
It's a bit of a dicey one.
I haven't heard it
It's
yet.
a bit of a dicey one. Mags is sitting around this group, right, with Marty, the voice of Fresh, and we're all around, all these other people. A few other people noticed it. But I went to go over to Marty and tell her about BJ's tattoos because she has all of these Nightmare Before Christmas tattoos, Tim Burton stuff.
Yeah, they're cool.
And Marty's really into that.
Yeah.
So my intention was to go over to Marty and say, BJ has a bunch of awesome tattoos. You should go check it out. But I walked over to Marty in the group setting and I walked over and I got cut off after saying BJ. So I've gone over to Marty. Mags has watched me do this. Go over, just say BJ and then get cut off. Someone tapped me and started chatting to me. So it seems like I'm a pest.
It sounds
and
like
completely filthy. And that's what Mags thought it looked like. And I was like, no, I got cut off. I wasn't just soliciting this off a fellow colleague at a Fresh event.
You know when someone taps you to talk to you when you're mid-conversation, you can say, just 1 second, mate.
And don't end on BJ.
Yeah.
Tom, you see wardrobe malfunctions all the time, right?
Yes.
And one of the bad ones, but it does pop up quite a bit. It's not uncommon to see it. And
in fact,
one of
we
these
talk about wardrobe malfunctions quite often here on the show.
is a bit of a reoccurring segment, right? Because
I wonder why that could be.
yeah, I mean, both of us have faced our struggles, but this happened on Friday night. It was the Young Achiever Awards. We were on the way there. Obviously, you're dressed to the nine. It's a suit and tie event, so you dress very well, right?
Yeah.
And then
Some of us were.
unfortunately, as we're on the way there, hop in the car of our boss, stretch out a little too much on the legs, split the pants.
Oops. I guess I ripped my pants again.
Yes.
That's what I said in the car to
That's an actual recording.
lighten the mood a little bit.
It might sound like SpongeBob SquarePants, but I guarantee it is Callum.
Yeah, I wanted to make a joke out of it. Didn't want to draw too much attention. But yeah, it is one of those awkward things. And when you do split your pants as well, I was sitting in the back seat and it's just when you have to tell people it's happened, it really is one of those guys, look, you're going to laugh. You'll have your laugh. You can have your 10 seconds. I'll give you 10 max. But yes, I've split my pants.
It's always one of those scary things too, because you always hear it. That's the first thing is you hear that split. And sometimes it doesn't actually mean a split. Sometimes you've just sort of stretched the seam out. Yeah. And when you actually do have a look and you were in the car, you were sitting down, you're like, oh, I reckon it's a big one. I reckon it's a big split. And we're on our way to lunch. And then we get out of the car. We're in the middle of the road. We get you to sort of, let us have a gaze, see how bad it really is.
Lads, assess the damage. Tell me what's going on.
I've never seen a bigger split in my life.
It was huge. It was probably,
I don't know how you did it.
What actually lightens the mood of the situation is probably a record-breaking split. It's probably one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. So that's the only, positive out of it. But yeah, it was a huge split and I had to borrow the boss's suit.
Yes. Now, splitting your pants, it is a bit awkward. It's a bit embarrassing. But I feel like everybody split their pants once.
Sure.
Right? So we don't want to know when did you split your pants. We want to know where did you split your pants. Because you split yours just before we went to a lunch.
Well,
and
exactly
then
right.
just before the 7 News Young Achiever Awards.
Well, that's why we want to know where, because, these are high stakes.
Yeah.
You're on the way to an awards show. It's pretty compromising circumstances. It's danger territory that you have to look good in your pants, then you split it. So where did it happen? Was it high stakes?
Plenty of people getting involved. Somebody's texted in here saying, split my pants at graduation while I was on stage.
Jeez, that's a crap one.
Yeah,
that's a really unfortunate situation, especially graduation. You're around other people.
You're in front of a lot of people. A lot of people you don't know as well.
Yeah, a lot. And this one here. This one's funny. St Kilda playground just got there and first ride down the slide had to go find an op shop to buy more pants. That sucks when you have to do a spontaneous op shop.
Imagine every time they go down the slide, they split their pants going back to the same op shop.
Yeah. Op shop is thriving.
34 waist, thanks.
It's like when you hear about, Macca's being next to the gym, right? They play into each other,
Yeah.
make a bit of money. Same with the op shop next to the playground. It's booming. The amount of people splitting their pants on those slides.
We had Jackie text in saying she split her pants on a roof doing solar once and the whole Grand Junction Road saw their KFC jocks. Got to say, KFC jokes, I'm all about that.
Yeah. Love the KFC jokes. I mean, I wouldn't be ashamed of that at all.
If I was driving down Grand Junction Road, I would have looked up and said, I don't care. I love it.
Yeah, instead of a wolf whistle, you just yell out nice KFC jokes.
Yeah. Hey, we got Matthew from Old Noarlunga on the line. Matthew, mate, good morning. How you going?
Yeah, good morning, guys. How are you?
Really good.
Very well, mate. Now, where did you split your pants?
Well, I was just during construction of the Marion Shopping Centre,
Yep.
mid-90s, and I'll get out of the car and I've ripped my jeans.
Oh,
First thing in the
no.
morning.
Wow.
First thing.
And, first thing. So then I got out and realised my partner had bought me these Bonds G-strings.
G-strings. So did your partner know that they were G-strings at the time, or was it a piss take? Was she trying to throw you under the bus?
She bought them for me because she thought I'd look good in them. You know,
Yeah.
I was in my early 20s.
Sure. Oh, so she's looked at it, thought, perfect excuse to buy a G-banger.
Yeah, exactly. So then I've gone to work and all the workmates just, they got stuck into me. And I thought it'd be a smart idea. What I'll do, I'll just go to the toilets, change and turn them around.
Yeah.
It just looks like normal jocks from the back, but they're designed to sit at the front that bit. So it just punches up and goes up your crack anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Matthew, I mean, we've got to know, was your missus right? Did you look good in them?
I did.
Yeah, good on you.
And Matthew's worn a G-string every day since.
Hey, Matthew, we got a family pass to the sample coming your way, you and 5 mates.
Excellent. Thanks, man.
Cheers, Matt. Tom, when you're putting out the bins, it's always, there's a bit of rigmarole there. You might not know, does this go in the green bin, the blue bin, whatever, and it's a bit of Russian roulette. You're sort of standing with one of those objects and you think, what the hell am I doing?
What colour's going out tonight?
Yeah, you have no idea, right? And it's come out with all these stats now in SA, really interesting stuff about pretty much bagging on South Australians saying we don't know what to do with the bins.
Does anyone really know what to do with bins, though?
I think people like to claim they know what to put in the bin, but, everyone's always a bit on
get
edge.
confused
But
every time.
How many times have you had, an argument with your parents about, okay, this goes in that bin? They're like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't go in that bin. It goes in the yellow or something.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I feel like as well when you're out at certain venues and they have the signs on each bin, what you can put in it, what you can't. I feel like it goes against every other bin I've ever known.
Yeah, totally. And it's but it's interesting looking at these stats. So they've come out and said 77% of people in SA don't know what to do with coffee cups in terms of what bin they put it in.
Like disposable paper coffee cups.
Yeah, that's it. And also 38% of people, this is where the really interesting stat comes in, 38% of people don't know what to do with their dead animals. So if a pet passes away, this is a really weird bit of the article where they've come in and said, hey, a little tidbit as well. Not only do you not know what to do with coffee cups, but also if a pet passes away, it turns out 42% of people are just chucking it in the bin.
Well, okay, all right. Well, let me ask, what do we do with coffee cups? Is it a yellow bin situation? Because I put it in a yellow bin.
Yep. So it's yellow.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. And
heart was racing then. Now
let's go back to the pets one, right?
The pets. What was it? 38% of people don't know what to do with their deceased pets.
42%, right?
42.
And the reason this is so big is because all the bin guys have come out and said, hey, look, we're getting a lot of snakes. We've got a donkey head or two, a cow cut in half.
The Australian Godfather.
Just chucked in the bin. Can you imagine that? I get worried that I've left a bit of milk in the jug still and that's going to spill on one of the bin guys. Yeah, there's people rolling around chucking donkey heads in. I'd be trying to be more considerate of that.
Is the donkey head a pet, or have they gone to the butcher and it's gone off?
Trying to send a message to someone. They have an argument with the bin guy.
Callum, there's been a bit of a ghost hanging around somebody we know.
Yep.
So the other night, the corporate fat cat here at Fresh, our boss, he started hearing noises coming from his laundry. And he thought it was his dog, and it was sort of like the middle of the night. So he's gotten up and he's shown us this video that he took, and it's him yelling, "Stop, stop."
Yeah, it was a weird video. It was very, Blair Witch Project, but in a modern house in 2024.
In Prospect.
Yeah. So, which is an interesting point as well, because when people talk about having ghosts, you do immediately picture,
I think
at least,
old creaky home.
at least 70 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It has a bit of a time limit, but then someone made the point to us the other day, like, why can't ghosts exist now, right?
Yeah.
Or, new age ghosts from that had died like within the 2000s.
So he's run out of his bedroom, he's gone towards the laundry, and he's showing us this video, and you can kind of hear it. It's like the door handle being messed about with.
I will admit, I thought, it sounds like the wind or a blind tapping the wall or something, but when you listen carefully, it does actually sound like the door handle is turning a little bit. It is very creepy.
Now, I've got to add on to this. I went over to his house on the weekend, and I started hearing some things.
Really?
Yeah. It was kind of like later at night, and everyone had sort of turned in for the night, and I was there sort of packing up my things, getting ready to go. And I could hear all these creaks and like weird sounds coming from down the hallway. And I thought it was just the corporate fat cat. But
Just him yelling at another ghost.
But he was in bed, fast asleep.
Yeah, right.
So I was having a look, and it was coming from the same area as what his video was, that laundry area in his house. And it started to creep me out a little bit. I got out of there pretty quick. But we wanted to know, is there a ghost in your house right now, Adelaide?
I mean, that's it, because we don't want to know, have you had a ghost story? Is there a ghost from the past?
We've heard ghost stories before.
We've done it before. Is there one in your house right now that you can confirm that you're having, spooky ordeals with on the daily basis? Maybe something happened last night, but we want to know right now, is there one living with you?
Is there a ghost in your house right now, Adelaide? We want to know the ghost story that's happening, and maybe you could hire us as a couple of Ghostbusters to come check it out.
Just give us a buzz. Give us a buzz on the Ghostbusters phone line.
Let us know if you've got a ghost in your house right now. 1300 73 73 74 is the number to get involved.
And how's it going? Are they paying rent? Are they good to live with? It doesn't have to be a bad situation.
Yeah, not all ghosts are particularly bad, are they?
No,
some can be kind of nice.
Quite accommodating.
Yeah. Hey, we're getting some calls come through at the moment. Let's jump over to Cara in Glenelg North. We're just going to put her through in 1 second.
Yes, something very spooky is happening on the phone line. Cara,
good morning. How are you going?
I'm okay, but it's my parents have the problem.
Right, so your parents have a ghost right now as we speak.
Yes. So he appears sort of about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and he walks towards the laundry, through the laundry, and towards the what used to be outside toilet, disappears, and then retraces his steps in a loop, because the person that lived there before had a heart attack on the toilet, and he's retracing his last steps.
Wow, okay.
Right, got a bit of the ghost of Elvis Presley there.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, get up like kids do in the middle of the night, go to the loo, maybe take a book with me, whatever. And I used to yell out to my mum, "The guy's here again." And she'd be like, "Don't worry, he's just a ghost."
Geez, what a way to grow up and live, just casually seeing a ghost. And, so it became normal, Cara. You didn't really care in the end.
Yeah, because my mum said, "Look, he's not going to hurt you. Just, if he appears while you're there, just move out of his way and he's okay."
Did he ever do anything like to try and creep you out, or he just sort of did his own thing?
He just did his own thing. So you'd you'd sometimes hear this little shuffling, and you'd see this old guy in like a checkered dressing gown, and then he'd walk towards the door and then just disappear and then reappear at the beginning of the laundry again.
Wow, I
pretty spooky,
I really would want to see the visuals of him hopping back on that toilet, Just be like, hey mate, just cut that out of the loop, I'm fine when you're going in the laundry, but the other stuff is just a bit too rude, mate.
We're the pride of South Australia, and we're known as the Adelaide Crow. We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. The West, red, white, and blue. We're from Tigerland.
Fresh footy footy tipping on Fresh 92.7. Sponsored by Thirsty Camel.
That's it for unseriously good deals this footy season. Shop online or drive through your local Camel. Thirsty Camel have given us $1,000 to give to the winner of our Fresh 92.7 footy tipping competition.
Yeah, awesome prize. Good for a party at the end of the year around grand final time. But look, I mean, this tipping is going off. It is really getting into these heated rounds now, twists and turns, so we're loving what's happening in the footy.
Yeah, and you get to go head-to-head against us, Taylor and Caitlin Maggs, and hold ultimate bragging rights if you do beat us in the footy tipping competition. Now, it's a huge round. Obviously, it was kicking off Sir Doug Nicholls round, which is the Indigenous round. Saw some plenty of amazing Guernseys, plenty of the footy clubs as well, changing their names to the Indigenous name of their club, which is great to see. But we're going to look at the first game here, Collingwood taking on Crows or Goanna in their Indigenous round. It was 78-74. Collingwood won by 4 points here. It was played at the MCG. Now, it was a little controversial. There was a call towards the end of the game where they said Rankin ran too far. Plenty of people getting on saying it wasn't far. It wasn't too far. He took a bounce, but you know what? That's the game, unfortunately.
I think it's one of those things because how close Crows were to winning, and there was that final mark to be taken, and that would have set them up perfectly. Obviously, tensions are high, so, you know, people are going to call out for the controversies, but geez, that was a cracker of a game.
Yeah, bloody close one. Another bloody close one was yesterday, mate. Port Adelaide taking on Hawthorn. 1 point win to Port Adelaide after being about six goals down, I think, at one point.
So we were there last night. It was such a slow-going game for the whole thing. But, man, Port Power fans get rowdy when they have to. As soon as it looked like we could jump up, chase them a little bit, everyone went nuts. It was awesome to be there. If you were there, you had to be there to experience it. You know, it was insane.
I'll tell you what, as a Crow supporter, it was some pretty horrible umpiring for the Port Adelaide Blokes. At one point, I checked the free kick count at about half-time, and I think Hawthorn had 10 more free kicks than Port
huge.
Adelaide.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were kind of nothing free kicks, and they were setting them up right in front of goals. So, I don't know. I feel like we need to start bringing in fines for these AFL umpires because at the moment, there's just no repercussions for them.
Nah, definitely a discussion to be had. What I did love was the Hawks supporters behind us chirping up all game, going nuts. Yeah. They couldn't look anyone in the eyes at the end. I think they were gobsmacked. They didn't realise it was going to happen. But, yeah, good game there.
Now, to look at the ladder where we're sitting in the footy tips, Callum, we were on 291 spot. Now we are in 270th on 56 points. So we've moved up a little bit there. Callum Maggs are now on 324th spot on 55 points.
Good
only
to hear.
1 point clear of them. And Taylor is now in 367th on 53. So she's starting to lag behind just a little bit.
Awesome. Callum Maggs' downfall is my favourite pastime, so I'm glad that they are losing in the tips. They were a bit cocky at first, so it's nice to see this development.
Yes, I got to give some shout-outs. Top spot, Zach B. It's Bucks on the footy tips. He's in top spot with 66 points. He's a point clear from anyone else. In second spot, Kelly R is still there in 65. She's been up around the mark.
Holding strong.
Yeah, all competition. Then we got Nick M in third spot, tied on 65 points. And Dane S, or Great Dane, 75, tied as well there on 65 points. So it's still a very tight competition up in that top spot. Who's going to take home the chocolates? Who's going to win that $1,000 at the end of the year?
Jeez, I reckon all of them would be so tense right now. It's that close, but it's still an opportunity for anyone to creep up if you pick correctly.